The conqueror shook to the steady beat of its guns. Since arrival in orbit over the throne world, they had not ceased. Overseers worked their gunnery crews to death. Weapons fired to the point of failure. Reports that the magazines were running empty went unheeded. The Legion did not care. The World Eaters could not hear the booming of cannons. They did not feel the decks vibrate. Their skulls sang with the soaring song of the butcher's nails, and that obliterated all other sensation. At being denied the spear point, Angron had lost all vestiges of restraint. The Legion agreed with him. Violence had been endemic on the Conqueror for years now. The Thralls knew to keep themselves apart and seal themselves away where they could, lessening the effects of the great massacres that had come after the Thramas Crusade. With little to spend their rage on, fights broke out between rival squads of legionaries, staining decks that were already black with mortal vitae with transhuman blood. Those particularly afflicted were brought under control only with much bloodshed, which provoked more. Others made for the embarkation decks and the lesser hangars, eager to be off-ship in defiance of their orders to remain aboard. Angron could not be restrained again as he had been before Ulanor. He strode his vessel as a pillar of living rage. The deck plate shook to his tread. The air trembled to his words. Where he went, lives ended. But when he learned his sons attempted to depart the Conqueror, his rage could finally no longer be contained, and his rampage cut a bloody swathe through his legion.
"None shall depart!"
he roared.
"I go fast! None shall take scars on the throne world soil before I!"
Khârn ran in his Genefather's footsteps. Where the demon Primarch trod, the metal smoked. Heat as much as anger radiated from Angron. Mortals ran from him. Those that did not fell convulsing, bleeding from their eyes, or else attacked one another in awful outbursts of violence.
Khârn, I have reports of a demi-company attempting to breach Hangar 19, not far from your position.
Khârn swallowed bloody spittle.
"We are nearly there, Lotara,"
he said.
"Angron knows."
Speaking with the shipmistress calmed his fury a little, but not much. He struggled to concentrate.
That is not good.
I would agree,"
Khârn finally managed.
"You will not land before me! I will be fast!"
Angron roared and sprinted ahead.
"I must go."
Khârn swore and ran after him. Angron pulled ahead easily. His sword was ready and trailing black vapors. Khârn caught up as the Primarch was slaughtering his way through 100 World Eaters. The fools had been throwing themselves against the hangar doors, despite all of them being sealed at Khârn's order. The heavy portals were scarred with melter burns. The disobedient company had made little headway before their father arrived to punish their presumption. Angron's lessons came at the edge of his sword, and all were fatal.
"You dare! You dare!"
Angron roared. He cut one of his sons in half from helm to crotch. The sword wailed as it swung, blood boiling from its edges. Always huge, Angron had grown to immense stature since his change, dwarfing his sons. He caught one up in his left hand, his fingers easily grasping the Space Marine's chest, and slammed him repeatedly into a wall. Armored fingers prized at Angron's grip, but nothing the World Eater did could free him.
"I will be the first upon Terra!"
roared Angron.
"You are not worthy! It is my honor! Khârn demands it! The Blood God decrees it! You shall burn in lakes of fire for your temerity!
Several hacked at the Primarch's limbs. The blows his brass armor did not turn aside sunk only a little way into his demonic flesh. Sprays of scalding ichor hissed over the Primarch's assailants, blinding those without helmets. His skin rippled around the wounds, closing them quickly. Angron ignored those who attacked him, and continued to pound the warrior in his fist against the wall.
Traitor!
Roared Angron.
Usurper!
The ceramite cracked, followed by the warrior's ribs. Blood gushed from rupturing flesh. The Primarch cast his dead son aside, and turned his blade upon the others. Angron would not rest until everyone in the corridor was dead. Khârn tried to think of how to calm his Primarch, to bring his rage to manageable levels, but the answer eluded him. His own reason was drowning in a tide of blood. The butcher's nails pounded into his skull. The smell of split vitae excited his senses. He swallowed a mouthful of saliva, suddenly conscious of a flood of it streaming down his chin. Before he lost himself entirely, he reopened communications with Lotara.
Seal decks 84 through 90, port side of the spinal way. Every entrance.
He could barely speak. His vision swam. He wanted to fight. He needed to kill. With heroic effort, he growled out his orders.
Order this deck grid. Dispatch suppression teams to all other hangars, shipwide. Lock them all down. Prime remote weapons to kill on sight. No one leaves this ship. Angron will slaughter us all if anyone tries. Seal all ports on this deck, except forwards gate 9. Open all doors leading to the lower decks beyond. If Angron wants to keep fighting, he can do it among the thralls.
Confirmed. No one runs from the Conqueror.
Lotara said.
What about you, Khârn?
Khârn could no longer hear. Words belonging to something else forced themselves out of his mouth.
Blood for the Blood God!
He roared and joined battle at his father's side.